Oh yeah, it's a great traditional game. A lot of history between the two teams. I'm just blessed for the opportunity to be able to wear that G. And go out there with my teammates and go out there have fun. I know the atmosphere gonna be pretty crazy. Feeling the support from the fans and everybody. So I'm really excited for this atmosphere and this opportunity.
Zach, to kind of follow up on that, what did you know, if anything, about this series before you got to Georgia, and what do you feel like you've learned about what it means for both sides, Georgia and Alabama?
Oh yeah, sure. Like I said, I know it's a real tradition game. A lot of history between the two teams. A lot of great players that's played in this game. On both sides of the ball, and things like that. So just getting a chance to go out there and be the best version of ourselves. Control what we can. Day in and day out, play in and play out. Let God do the rest.
Obviously played big time games before, but the SEC, they say it just means more. So taking back to Tennessee, your first experience in that game, and just what it meant to be a part of a road SEC game, and then obviously a transition to here at home.
Oh yeah, that was a crazy atmosphere, man. It was something that I'll never forget. Just getting a chance to go out there, my first road game, first SEC game, was something that was real special. To go out there with the guys, and especially get the dub out there, man. Going into somebody else's house and getting it done. But it was crazy atmosphere to know that like they really going white, orange, white, orange. Like, it's pretty cool just to see that, how committed, the SEC fans and things like that are, and just to go out there with my guys and, have fun and get the dub was pretty cool experience.
Just a quick follow. Is that why you play? Is that why you come to Georgia for like those experiences, the Alabama game in prime time? Is that what it's all about?
Oh yeah, definitely. You want to get a chance to, play the best competition. SEC is a great conference, so I feel like it just sets me up to, have those primetime games, like you said, to play against some of the best competition in the country, and get a chance to showcase my talent when the time comes.
Yeah, Zachariah, excuse me. How would you feel like the first three games have gone for you? We've seen the quick throws to the outside. We've seen you go on some slants against Tennessee. And how do you feel like you've acclimated into the Georgia offense now that you've actually got some game time under your belt?
I feel like I acclimated pretty well. Just getting a chance to, study whatever the game plan is for that week. I take that very serious, just trying to be very detail oriented and, go out there and be the best version of myself for the team. That's really important for me. I just try to make sure I'm reliable for the guys around me and things like that. So that's something that's really important for me. I'm excited to go out there and, continue to go out there in Sanford Stadium and, just feel the atmosphere and things like that. But I'm definitely blessed and thankful for this opportunity for sure.
Hey, Zachariah over here. I know we've asked you about Gunner before, but coming off the game against Tennessee, what have you seen from him? From I guess even more confidence from him coming out of that, and just what was that throw he made to London Humphreys on fourth down for that score?
Oh yeah, Gunner's a dog, man. It's just an honor playing with somebody like him. A lot of people say that he doesn't really talk that much, but he actually does. He's a real good leader. He takes a lot of orchestration in the offense, in the huddle and things like that, just making sure everybody's on the same page. And I had a perfect view of the touchdown to London, man. I'm just replaying it in my head. It was such a great moment, just seeing him go out there and make that play. You couldn't ask for a better ball from Gunner right there. So those are plays that he makes in practice, routine practice plays that I know he would be able to make in the game. And, he made that perfect play right there for us. And it was a really exciting moment for us.
Zachariah, what have you seen from the Alabama secondary and just what you guys out wide are going to be up against on Saturday?
Yeah, it's a real talented group. Really just watching them on film and seeing the schemes and things that they run, just trying to get a chance to know, what to expect and things like that. But our real focus is just, to control what we can on offense and, focus on our execution day in and day out and, be ready on Saturday.
Yeah, both your touchdown passes have been short in terms of air yardage, but then you just sort of take off. Just how dynamic are you in that screen game? How do you think that might open things up down the field moving forward, knowing teams are going to have to watch you near the line of scrimmage?
I feel like a lot of it is a credit to my teammates. We spend a lot of time on perimeter blocking in practice, so I feel like that's pretty much makes my job pretty easy, honestly. Like, I have a lot of speed and things like that. That's one of the things that is a positive in my game, but if it wasn't for the blocks, I wouldn't be able to do the things that I'm doing. So, credit to my teammates just getting a chance to strain for me. Like I said, I take pride in preparation and things like that. So trying to make sure I'm reliable for my teammates as well, because they're doing certain things like that for me. So when it's somebody else's opportunity, I try to make sure I'm doing the same. So very, very blessed for my teammates to do that for me.
Zachariah, what has this football journey been like with you and your brother Zion, going from USC to here to Georgia? And then obviously he plays on the other side of the ball. So, where's that, iron sharpens iron kind of thing been with your brother?
Oh yeah, that's my dog, man. That's my best friend right there. It's been pretty cool, a blessing just to go place to place with him. Especially at the collegiate level, a lot of people don't get the opportunity to, play together at the collegiate level. So it's been pretty cool for me and him to, play together, shoot high school, youth football, at the college level, and at different university and here now. So really just making sure we hold each other accountable day in and day out, and stand on the things that we know help us become better. As brothers and as individuals as well. So it's really been a great opportunity just to get a chance to grow and see him grow, together as well. So,
Zachariah, just where do you think you guys are as far as trying to get to the peak of where this offense could be, and just what's the confidence in practice? Obviously, you've had a week to practice and kind of just be around the guys after that 44 points of offense at Tennessee. Just where's the confidence level right now?
Yeah, I feel like our confidence level is pretty high right now. I feel like we were confident what we could do, all season and all off season, just, getting a chance to practice against, one of the best defenses in the country every single day. So, just being able to, hold each other accountable and do our job every single day in practice. But to go out there in the game and do it was something that, was important for us as an offense, to get a chance to show it against other opponents, not just in practice. So, I feel like we're continuously growing as an offense, day in and day out, and I'm excited for the future.
Do you remember specifically watching a Georgia-Alabama game when you were elsewhere? And, do you expect the atmosphere to be kind of like, USC, Notre Dame, USC, UCLA?
Yes, I did get a chance to watch the game last year, specifically since it's pretty fresh on my mind, especially since it was last year. But definitely saw the atmosphere and, the passion of the guys playing in the game on both sides of the ball. And I saw how much it really meant to both teams. So, just taking that fire and taking that energy that we had going into the season, going a chance to go out there in Sanford Stadium and make something happen.
And what about the games at USC? Were those games kind of like similar, not necessarily? The Notre Dame, the UCLA games?
Definitely rivalry games. Those rivalry games are pretty intense. So, getting a chance to play in that. But, it's always different at certain schools and things like that. The tradition at different schools is different. But, it pretty is a great opportunity to go a chance to play in the Notre Dame game. Also, UCLA and USC is a great traditional game as well. So, played in some rivalry games a couple years. So, I'm excited for this one. It's going to be a good one.
Zachariah, over here. There was a video on social media on that 2-point conversion where it looked like you may have left the huddle a little early, maybe used as a decoy, and you were wide open. Can you kind of explain your role on that play, if there was one, and was that practiced, that little sequence, before y'all played Tennessee?
Yeah, I left the huddle early because, I try to, like I said in my details, I'm trying to make sure I'm at the right split. The ball wasn't, close to where I was supposed to line up, so I had to just look back to make sure I was in the right spot. But we definitely had practiced those plays and practiced an ample amount of time. So, when that opportunity comes and if I get that man coverage, I knew that ball was coming to me, and I had to make that play. So it was definitely a cool experience.
Zachariah, you said Gunner talks. Give me your best Gunner story. Fill us in. What is he talking? Is he talking trash? With us, he's just always just so level.
Yeah, shoot. Let me think, man. I think something that kind of was interesting for me was, just getting a chance to know him a little bit more and talking to him about him, talking more to him and about his life and how he grew up and things like that. And I'm from West Coast, from the city and things like that. So I didn't really have too many animals and things like that around me. And he was telling me about yeah, I got 7 cows at the house. I'm like, it was pretty cool just, to hear the different things, where certain people are from and just to tie it together, just seeing how country and things and how he was pretty funny to me. But I love Gunner as a person, man. He's probably the nicest person I've ever met, honestly. Hey, I have to, man. I got to. Gotta let him see what it's like over there, man.
Time for one more.
Yeah, Kirby said he's always going to demand blocking of receivers, stuff like that. One, what's it been like adjusting to that expectation, and what's it like being in a room full of guys who embrace that on the practice field and in the games like Dylan Bell's bringing you the other day?
Oh yeah, shoot. I feel like it wasn't too much an adjustment for me. I try to affect the game as much as possible every single play, whether I'm getting the ball or not. So I feel like that was just always my mindset. Growing up and just playing football at every level was if I'm not getting the ball, I have to block. I'm not gonna just be out there just being a player on the field. I'll try to affect the game in a positive way for my team as much as I can. But the emphasis on blocking that Coach Smart does for us, and as a receiver group is something that's really important. We do a drill called Mob Bracket on Tuesdays, on Bloody Tuesdays and things like that. And they really just emphasize blocking and just trying to get the right techniques and encourage the physicality. So it definitely has been real beneficial for us. As you guys see in the perimeter blocking game, we have a lot of explosive plays and things like that we've been able to do with a lot of different guys. So definitely blessed for our perimeter blocking drills and things like that.
Yeah, feeling good physically. Obviously getting back out on the field is the biggest confidence boost of all. So had a few weeks going now and obviously got a few weeks in the bye, so physically feeling really good, ready to keep going through the season. And the process was definitely a slow one. You learn a good amount of patience when you kind of get frustrated because you feel good, like you'll be able to walk around and live a very normal life, but that last kind of 20 to 30% of the, I guess, athleticism that involves the punting is the part you can't do. So yeah, definitely learned a good amount of patience, but feeling good now.
You talk to athletes that go through injuries with an ACL or an arm, they need to get hit for that first time to say, all right, I'm good, I'm cleared. Was there a moment where you had to go through something to say, all right, I'm good, to get through that mental process that you cleared that final hurdle?
It is funny because, yeah, hopefully we're not getting hit when we're out there. So definitely just getting back in live reps in practice, and you have people rushing towards you and all sorts of chaos going on around you helped a lot. I think just having good punting numbers was the biggest influence. Being able to see that ball kind of get over the 5 seconds of hang time and kick 50, 60 yard balls and be like, okay, there it is. That's what it feels like. That's what I need to do over and over again. Probably went the longest way.
Brett, you're talking about not being able to punt in that time off. How much growth did you see from Drew Miller in that time where you're on the sidelines? He's kind of getting those reps with the first punting team.
Yeah, huge amounts of growth. I'm proud of Drew. I'm trying not to swear, but he's kicking the shit out of the ball right now. His progress over his last year this year is in a much better spot than I think I was going into my sophomore year, and I'm super excited to watch Drew go about his time at Georgia. I think I don't really have any records here, but I don't think it would matter after he's going to play a few years here. He's improved, not improved, he was always a talent, but he's found that consistency and that performance level at practice, and I'm super excited to watch him go about his business for years to come.
Brett, I guess this will be your third game against Alabama, maybe. What stands out about kind of, what that game is compared to maybe some others that you've had at Georgia? Like, do you feel the intensity different level, the fans, raising it up a few notches as well?
I think it's obviously, they're a quality outfit. The talent they have and the talent we have. So anytime you get two elite programs going head to head, it results in some good games that we've all seen in the past. So obviously we want to win the SEC, and we know Alabama is always going to be a top team in the SEC. So anytime that game comes up, you get excited. You know it's going to be a good challenge, really, to test where we're at and where we're going this year. And it's definitely exciting. Sanford Stadium's getting excited for it. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, you mentioned the home atmosphere. What kind of impact can that have on a team? Obviously, 2022 game against Tennessee, you had a massive punt in that game. How do fans sort of make an impact during the course of a game or between two elite programs?
I think it's just that little edge. When you have two teams that are so evenly matched, talent and caliber-wise, the fans that can, maybe it's a few false starts from their offense. Maybe it's just the offense taking the momentum from a lot of energy running out on the field. But any little thing, it's kind of like special teams. Just getting that little edge can be a huge part in a game that's going to be this close and this challenging.
Brett, obviously you've been around this block a lot. Just where are you kind of mentally just about this being your final time? You don't know how many more of these type of games you're going to get in Sanford Stadium. Just where are you kind of going into this, just trying to take in the experience, I guess, of it all?
Yeah, definitely. Coming from Australia, I think I've always had a really good appreciation for the things I've gotten to experience over here. And going into this last year where I know it's my last, there's no waivers or COVID years or anything I can add to the end of this. So just taking it all in and being extremely appreciative of this opportunity that I've had and the opportunities we're going to have going forward. It's definitely been an experience of a lifetime, and I'm looking forward to experiencing this weekend. My family's coming in from Australia. They're just about to jump on the plane right now, actually. So getting to share that with them is something we'll remember forever, and credit to the Dog fans for making me feel so welcome and making it the home atmosphere that I've gotten to experience so often.
Brett, what is that experience as a special teams player when you have these loud crowds, which obviously when you're out there at home it might be a little different, but just the feeling it's like when the crowd is into it and how it can affect the third phase specifically of a game?
Yeah, it's awesome. It kind of gives you that little just pre-game. You feel that little boost. Obviously, there is a lot of time of the game that we know we're not in. Any time our defense is out there, I know I'm not participating in the football game. So I get to kind of appreciate how loud those fans get and the football game itself in that. And then when our offense gets the ball, it's not ideal when I run out there. Obviously, no one wants to see me run out there. But with how loud they've been and the energy that they've kind of created in the stadium, it gives me that little bit of adrenaline, so to speak, and that good feeling going out there. And hopefully I just want to help in that sense, that give the defense a long field that I know the fans can get behind and really help the defense. So it's a good hand-in-hand kind of deal.
Few quick things on your family. Who's coming over? Have they been to the games before? Kind of walk me through that.
Yeah, mum and dad, and then my sister Casey and her boyfriend Josh. So Josh, her boyfriend has never been. My sister come freshman and sophomore year, but this will be her biggest home game experience. And then mum and dad have been over 4 times. This will be their 5th time now. So they're veterans on the trip.
They're veterans. What was their welcome to the big time football moment? Do they just think this is like, oh my God, my son is kicking in front of 100,000 people? Kind of a surreal moment for them.
Yeah, I feel old. It was so long ago now. But freshman year, getting here and seeing the tailgates and everything around the actual football. Obviously, they can watch the football on TV, see the crowds, but everything that come around it. And each year, I guess, the more people they meet, the more people they know. So they love coming over here. They're super appreciative of all the Dog fans that have made them feel welcome, and they're looking forward to it. But they got Tennessee last year, so I think that was their biggest. And they've seen the Natties, the Natty and the playoff game before that. And my sister, probably nothing close, and obviously Josh's first time.
We caught Coach Bennett kind of catches you coming off the field after a punt at Tennessee. What are those conversations like from him? Is he that needed to be higher, that needed to be in a different direction? What are those conversations like as he gets you coming off the field? Are you making adjustments in game?
Yeah, it depends on the result of the punt. So hopefully it's not a shit punt. And it's a good conversation we have. But there is a lot go in. We'll probably talk about it before going out there. So if I come off, it might be a second level of that chat and how we actually. But usually we just go over the call, what we saw in a rush or hold up. Just saw a few, what did we see out there and what was the result and how are we going to keep going on to the next one. So,
hey, Brett. I know Kirby had expressed kind of during fall camp some concern about replacing gunners and feeling like he had really good gunners last year. What have you seen from the guys that have kind of stepped up through 3 games out there? I think I've seen Talon out there in London, but what has been your impression of those guys?
Yeah, Tyler and KJ and obviously London have been the prominent 3 right now. I think that's the joy of playing at Georgia. You've got a lot of talent that you can put into that position and a lot of guys that can fly. So it's been exciting watching those guys go through all of fall camp. They've got huge shoes to fill. I think, I don't know the exact number, but we did about 26 or 27 games without a positive punt return yard. So there are big shoes to fill, but we have the right people to do it. And I just got to give those guys a chance and hopefully make their job easier. The more I put on the ball, the easier it is for them. But so far, they've been really promising. I'm excited to have those boys out there and fly into the ball. It gives me confidence that I can really just go out there and let the ball fly.
Time for a final question.
Hi, Brett. What's that bond like between all of y'all that come over from Australia? And have you had a chance to talk with Archie over at Nebraska at all?
No, Archie, obviously, again, I'm a bit old now, so he was in the program a bit after me. And the guys that I've got to meet or met before coming here, some of the guys I'd consider my best friends. So we're super lucky. It's a bit weird. You'll meet someone just through the program and it'll feel like you've known them for years. So I've gone and visited a lot of different schools with the Australians. There's something different about having a beer with an Australian. So I definitely enjoy when we get time off to go catch up with the lads, and especially just seeing them pre-game. Like Jackson Ross is one of my closest friends. So it's funny just bumping into each other in front of 100,000 people coming from Australia and getting a chat about what we're about to go experience for the game. So it's definitely awesome having those boys over here. We go through a lot of the same stuff.